Good morning. I'm reporting live from my classroom. My name is Awesome Adams, and this week I'm going to be giving you some highlights of a few articles I read and giving you some key points on other things as well. This week we learned about two different terms, what it means to be digitally literate, and we learned what it means to be a digital citizen. The first article, what is digital literacy? The key point in this article was just as the title says. What is digital literacy? I learned from this article what it actually means to be digitally literate. One thing that resonated with me was when Lynch, the author of the article, stated in the 21st century world, being digitally illiterate is just as bad as being illiterate. That means not being able to navigate, evaluate, and utilize information found on the internet is just as bad as someone not knowing how to read or write. That's deep, because if that's the case, then digital literacy needs its own curriculum. Because not every teacher is digitally literate themselves to the point where they can incorporate or mainstream it into their everyday instruction. In the second article, 7 reasons why digital literacy is important for teachers, this article was published by USC Roger School of Education. This article highlighted 7 reasons why digital literacy is important for teachers. And I must say, as a veteran teacher, this article broadened my horizons and ways I can expand my instruction to produce digital citizens. Reason number 2 stood out to me the most. As a teacher, I am accustomed to producing productive citizens, but now I learned after reading this article that I must produce productive digital citizens. A digital citizen is one who understands and applies responsible uses of not only technology, but the internet as well. So this means I'm responsible for teaching students the legalities of the internet and proper etiquette while using technology and the internet as well. The 2 main issues that should be addressed is academic plagiarism and cyberbullying. I didn't learn about academic plagiarism until I started college. At the beginning of the school year, our counselor comes around and she shows a video about cyberbullying, and she does an activity with the students, and then she advises them not to do it or to report it if they are victims or witnesses to it. And that's it. That's pretty much it for the lessons that our students get on cyberbullying. This is why I say digital literacy needs its own curriculum and should be added in schools as a required resource, just like physical education. The third article, what will it take to close the adult digital literacy gap? This article manifested something for me on a personal level. I've always been a firm believer that every now and then we must reintroduce ourselves, because as humans, we evolve at different ages and at different stages of our life. In this article, Frank Freeman, the author, he interviewed Damon John, who is the co-host of ABC's Shark Tank, and Damon explained the importance of reinventing yourself. He said, "We live in an era," and I quote, "we live in an era which it is not uncommon to reinvent yourself every few years to stay ahead of the learning curve with emerging tools and technologies." That was a manifestation of my own belief, and it will resonate with me throughout my professional career. I think about times when our computers are upgraded, smart boards are upgraded, or even when I upgrade my phone. There's always new features and added features that I must learn in order to operate the newly upgraded device. Change is inevitable. Nothing will remain the same forever. So just like technology upgrades often, we as professionals, teachers, and citizens must upgrade as well. Before reading these articles and studying about digital literacy, I just understood it to mean being able to navigate the web and being able to operate technology, different technology devices. If someone knew how to operate Microsoft Office and how to navigate the web by doing basic research, I would have considered them digitally literate. Now I'm woke as to what it really means to be digitally literate. It's far beyond my initial thoughts, and the key words I can now add in my definition of digital literacy is create, evaluate, and apply. Yes, my students know how to use a computer and research topics, but do they know how to apply what they've researched to create new original work? Do they know how to evaluate sources to determine if they are credible or not? As an educator, if I can answer yes to those questions, then not only are my students digitally literate, but they will also grow to become digital citizens. As educators, we take on the responsibility of producing productive citizens. Back in the day, a productive citizen mean being able to read and write and probably learn a trade. That has changed due to technological advances. We live in an era where most things can be done online, and the ability to use a computer is just as important as being able to read. With that being said, that's why it's important for teachers to teach digital literacy so our future leaders can be prepared for higher learning or the workforce. Yesterday's productive citizens is today's digital citizens. Out with the old and with the new. As for myself, I'm comfortable with digital tools and with incorporating them in my instruction. The only thing I would say is there's always room to learn when it comes to digital tools. As soon as I think I have mastered one digital tool, someone will come along and introduce me to a new one, or they'll show me a feature that I was unaware of on an old one. So, I don't know if I should become a master of one or a user of all when it comes to digital tools. I'm on most social media platforms mainly because of my son and my students. I try to keep up with social media so I can monitor my son's activity, and it also helps me build relationships with my students. It allows me to be a part of their world. I get some students that don't talk much at school, but will go home and inbox me a paragraph of their thoughts and feelings. As I browsed EdSurge Twitter feed, I quickly learned that EdSurge is a tool that provides information on tools that educators can use in their classrooms. One tool I learned about and have already shared with our 5th grade math teacher is 99math.com. 99math is a tool that allows students and teachers to create online math games. It's sort of like a popular game tool we use called Kahoot, but 99math is strictly for math, whereas Kahoot allows you to create a game for all subjects. Speaking of tools, my favorite tech tool is Flipgrid. And this here is the site, Flipgrid. Flipgrid is a video discussion platform. The teacher posts a video discussion prompt, and the students respond with short videos. It's sort of like what we're doing here with our discussion posts and with our introduction discussion posts. It's just using videos versus words. I like using Flipgrid because it enhances learning by giving every student a voice and by allowing students that may be shy the opportunity to express themselves. Flipgrid allows opportunities for the higher students or really tech-savvy students to create video responses using pictures, screenshots, and it also gives the lower students opportunities to be successful as well, because just with one click, they're able to create a simple video and participate in class discussions. That is my discussion post number 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me some feedback. If you have any questions, I'll be willing to answer. Thank you.